Welcome back, everybody. Man, I just was struggling with this intro for a second, and it's so stupid. Comment below if you guys want to see this intro put in like a bloopers reel at the end of this year. I have a few good ones that I did save, more for myself and the entertainment factor, but I'm going to cut that short. Obviously, if you've seen the title, it's Tackle Tip Tuesday. This one's going to be a simple one. Well, somewhat simple. Obviously, if you read the title, it's all about my battery charging station. So let's get to it. All right, so we're going to do this overhead view thing real quick here. This is what the discussion's going to be on. I'm going to go into detail on this. Welcome back to all you guys that are subscribed. Thank you. Obviously, you guys are kicking butt. I'm almost at 3,000 subs. I was going to do a giveaway at 3,000 subs, but the thing was, it was like, I made it too stupid and difficult, and needless to say, the mission that needed to be done didn't even get close to being done. But if you like this video, this video right here that you're watching, if you like it, 1, 2, if you're subscribed, 3, we'll just do it real simple like that. If this video gets, let's keep it simple. We'll do 100 likes. There's almost 3,000 of you, and any of you guys new that are watching this, if you subscribe, we'll go over to 3,000 mark, and at 4,000 subs, I was going to do it at 3,000 and 5,000, but like I said, I obviously made it too stupid and too hard for everybody to get. It's not your fault, it's mine. I take full responsibility on making this giveaway hard, but I still want to give away some summer stuff before it gets too late here, and then I do a fall giveaway if you guys want one of those. Comment below if you want a fall giveaway, something maybe species specific like I did last winter for walleye. I could do walleye again, but I mean I could do bluegills, perch, crappie, you name it. But we'll get this video to 100 likes, and obviously if you're seeing it, and like I said, you're new here, subscribe, and then when we hit 4,000 subs, I will happily give away a bunch of stuff, and leave some suggestions below. I'm actually thinking possibly about doing like a salmon or a trout thing, because I'm going to try and get into that this year, but I digress. I'm sorry. I want to give you guys stuff. You just got to help with the likes and the subscribes and the, you know, the stuff that helps us grow. Okay, so aside from the fact that I want to give you guys free stuff, that's a good thing that you guys can keep in mind. If you're seeing this and you're new, subscribe. You're going to want to stick around. I have really big plans for this channel if we can get it to grow. That's the thing, is it needs to grow. Without it being growing, I can't do what I want to do. I'm not rich. I'm broke. You guys need to help, and help everybody else so we can give you guys some free stuff. But today's video is going to be all about this stuff. So this is one of my ice fishing batteries. I do use mine all year round, so it's not one of those things where like I leave it sit and charge. And it's one of those things, like if you leave a battery sit and it doesn't have like a trickle charger on it, these things die. So like they'll slowly drain out, and then they'll die. This battery I think is stamped. Yeah, I think this one's from 2012. Yeah, so I bought this battery a long time ago online. Still kicking butt, still taking names, still catching me tons of fish year round. So this is why you're going to want to build this. And let's get into the table and why I set it up the way I did, and what are like some of the options you can do with it. Okay, so I'm going to do just a quick overview here of how I have this set up, and then we'll go into more detail on what I did and why I did it the way I did. Because some people are going to look at this thing here, let me step back a little bit, and they're going to be like, okay, now you can see the whole thing. They're gonna be like, why is it so beastly? Because like those legs are huge, the decking for it is extra heavy duty. But yeah, let me go into details on what's all on this. Okay, so I was gonna go into detail on like what's all on it, but I'm gonna sit down here on the floor here real quick for you guys and just basically explain the simplicity of this thing. So this is a boxed out, braced out tabletop, and the way I did this with like this one running through here, this is screwed from the backside with that cross member like that. I was going to actually throw one there, but I didn't think it was going to need one that way. The big thing is I have all my batteries sitting over here, so that side's the one that's got the boxed in edges. And then obviously what is this, 1 2 3 4 5 6 legs. All right, I can count. Okay, so obviously you've seen that's got 6 legs. It's a very heavy duty top. This is, I believe, 1/2 inch with 2x4s, and I could have probably went lighter. I probably could have built a lot using like 1x1s or 2x2s, and I could have made a super easy table. But what I did here, I'm going to describe to you guys basically how you should do this too, so you don't end up in the same predicament. Well, I didn't really end up in the predicament, but I almost did. It's one of those situations when I was building this, I did it, and then I was like, oh, this is what you need to do. Okay, so what I did is I built this outside, right? And there's a regular doorway. Yeah, this, I'll tell you right now, is impossible to get through this now. So in order for me to get this out of this room, if I ever need to, I will take these screws out. But what I did outside is I framed this, cut this out, measured it to fit this corner. I measured it so that it would somewhat line up with this desk. I kind of wanted it to step back just so I still retained my room in my room type thing, you know. But the biggest thing is I built this top right here first. So I framed it out, screwed it all together. This board, like I said, that goes right through underneath to that side, that was like a last minute thing. I was actually going to just go from here and then line it up with that and just, you know, basically frame up the lip of it. But when I thought about it, I wanted to be able to stick. This is just one. I have two of these right now, and I plan on getting another one, which these are the smaller deep cycle batteries that I have. I want to get, I think it's a D or a Group 31, bigger trolling batteries, so they last longer. So I wanted to be able to put like 4 of those side by side, not just these, but 4 of those big batteries side by side. And the only way that was going to be possible without wrecking this thing, because this corner would be a weak spot with that only being connected there, I ended up just cutting the board to reach to that side from this corner. So when you guys are building your own, because that's just why you're watching this, is so that when you build your own, you have to keep in mind that it needs cross supports. So I mean, even this board here, if I would have put one underneath it going the rest of the way on the back side of this crossover, that probably would have helped even a little bit. But I think this triangle and that triangle in there should be strong enough. It's all about angles and stuff like that. If you ever built anything, you'd know triangle and circles are better than just like straight lines or like big valleys or whatever. Okay, so for instance, this little battery tender plus, they make battery tender juniors, whatever. This is my favorite one for one thing, and it was because I bought it for my ice fishing batteries, these. Okay, so if you see that connector right there comes apart. So you have this clip thing. The clips are what I use to charge these batteries all summer long. But in the wintertime, when those batteries are in that case, or that case, they have little flaps on the back of them. I don't want to dig them out right now, but they have little flaps on the back of them with this part sticking out of the flap. So then you stick this part right on there, plug it in, good to go. That little light thing lights up. I'll get into the details of why things work the way they do on here, but that'll trickle charge it basically until they are full, and then it goes into what you would call a float charge. And when it's on a float charge, it's maintaining your batteries. So every once in a while, even if I'm not using these during the open water season, like if it's not in my boat or whatever, I will put them on there, and it'll show that it's not fully charged, that it's close, but it's not fully charged. So then you leave it on there until it goes to float mode, let it sit there for a little while, and then undo them, and then as long as they're sitting here, up off of this is a concrete floor underneath here, it won't zap the batteries as bad. That's just something to keep in mind when you're charging batteries, but that's why I built the table mainly, because I used to have just a pile of stuff here in the corner, and it was getting really ridiculous because I just got myself a new, this is a weed whacker, or, you know, like edge trimmer by Black & Decker, and it came with these two different, I had a really good deal. I had two different chargers come with it. Well, I wanted to be able to charge both of the batteries for it so that I can do my whole yard and not have to worry about things. So that's when I built this table, was I had an extra charger, and then on top of that I've been wanting to hang this up. So that charger right there, I just set it up so that I could plug it in right there to the wall. So that's kind of why I built this. Like, if you see, it's in line with that. I did that on purpose. There was a lot of forethought in this. And then that one is plugged in underneath there, so those cables are out of the way. But this is the brain of the situation. So this is a very nice, what are they called? I can't think of it right now. Comment below so my dumb brain can remember what this thing's called. A power strip. That's what it is. I just had to call myself dumb a couple times. Anyways, so this power strip right here is this main switch on it. So like, and you turn that on. So now all of that's being fed. So then I have, this is live, that's live, and that's live. Oh, I didn't even say what this is. So this is for the, I have in that one right there is the lithium shuttle from Markham. So that's a lithium charger. So I can just set my shuttle up here when I'm not using it in the winter time, plug it right into that, fully charged all times, ready to go, type of thing. But you can see, this is what I was trying to talk about. So when it's not hooked up right there, you know, it's flashing, and then I think when that's solid, it's charging, and then when it's down here flashing, I believe that's it says right on it what it does, but storage is like float, whatever you want to say, and that's when those are just kind of being maintained. But the nicest thing about this whole situation with this being on here is I can just go down here, go like that, and now no power is going to that. Thus, none of these things will have power. And because of that, I feel much safer having all of this stuff plugged in at all times versus sitting there plugging it in, unplugging it type thing. All right, so I want to explain something real quick to you about how this works. Like I said, I built that first, the deck. Yeah, you'll call it the deck or the top of the desk of it or whatever. And then I was gonna do single pieces of 2x4s because I figured, I mean, it's 2x4s. They're big. They're beastly. They're tough. I mean, if you use a single 2x4 and all you're putting on it is like 100 pounds, it can hold like 1,000 pounds before it snaps. So if you think about it, this is extremely beefy. But by doing those corners like that, what I could do is outside, I built the deck, and then I built each one of those legs, and on the inside of the corners, because I put the legs in the corners to make sure that they would line up right, and like I said, I cut them all the same length. This is all got to be spec specific to your area. This is just an idea for you guys to build. If you wanted to copy this, it's kind of moot because I made it so that it was as tall as that. See how that's across like that? So I measured it so that they were the same height. I made it so that it fit in this corner specifically, with this side being shorter and this side being longer. I made it so there was enough room to have the lamp in between, have my charger there still. I might even put a charger on that side, on that table still. It's just all forethought for my storage area. But if you do the legs, like I said, separately, what you can do is you can take it in any room of the house, and then say you wanted that thing this tall, it'd be almost impossible to get it through that door. Well, it would be impossible to get it through that door. That thing, as short as it is, won't go through that door. So what I did is I made it like an IKEA thing, and I numbered each leg and numbered each corner, and then when I brought it down here, I took my screwdriver and just threw in 2 screws, 1 screw, and, you know, did that around it and then flip it over in place. And then that way I was able to get it in this room. And as you can see, it's a lot more organized in this room. If you've been watching this for a while, you can see that, I mean, I have basically, it's almost a square. And it was really getting tight in here. And like for rods, I made this storage rack very first thing I made coming here. You guys can go through my Tackle Tip Tuesday videos or my how-to videos. I have 2 different playlists like that. But you can go through those videos and see how to build that one. That's a standalone. That thing actually pulls out and moves around. That one I can get in and out of this room. But like the wall one, that's another Tackle Tip Tuesday I did. That one is actually hard mounted to the wall. I was actually thinking about building some of those and selling them, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to get into that. That's stressful. Okay, stressful. But anyways, that was something I wanted to do for you guys. I wanted to explain that it's something that you would never think of. And now that I've built it, like I have that storage underneath it. I have like one of my tackle bags. Realistically, I could probably put 6 bags down there, so that's a lot of tackle storage. So like I have this I just organized, and this is one of the ones that goes in that tackle box, or that tackle bag. If I had another tackle bag like that, I could put one on top of that, and then I could put 2 to the side. Or if I have like my backpack down here that I put everything in, I can put it underneath there, and it's all out of the way while everything is on top, able to be charged at the time. So if you have any kind of electronics and you want a charging station, this is something that I would suggest building, customized, like I said, to your area. But the idea behind like building the deck and then building the legs separate and making it so it's customized to your area, that's 100% useful for anybody that wants to build it. And obviously, if you're seeing this and you're not a fisherman, it's not necessarily it doesn't necessarily have to be just for fishing batteries and stuff like that. I mean, you could keep your lawnmower battery charged or your 4-wheeler battery charged or anything. Any kind of stuff where you got to keep stuff charged. Like I have my weed whacker stuff on there so that that's always where I know it's going to be. I keep my safety glasses by it so that when I'm out weed whacking, I just grab the battery, grab the glasses and go. It's all about efficiency with me, and I've become one of those people, and it's kind of funny because people knowing me that know who I was growing up always say the same thing, that it's realistically, it's probably the most different type of human being that I would have become from what I was when I was younger. But that's, people change, things need to be organized. Like I try to always keep my things organized now. But enough rambling. I hope that really helps you guys out. I want to hear stuff, like I mentioned earlier, in the comments below about that. One thing I want to know, if you've made it this far, obviously you guys do the supporting. You guys are the ones that support me. So if you watch my videos from start to finish, thank you. I have to say thank you. And obviously at the very end of the video, I put all the other extra videos that might, you know, correspond with this one and stuff like that. So I hope those ones help you out. But one thing I want you guys to do that are still here. Sorry, I'm still talking as much as I am, but I kind of wanted to do like an overview of what I actually have in here and how I set all this up. If you guys want to know that, you can leave that in the comments below, and basically just let me know if you want me to go over like how I built this room out for yourself. Obviously not everybody's got 1,000 things for fishing and they, you know, have like a perfectly nice little square room to work with. But I can kind of go from head to toe on how I started with an empty room and got my way to here, and how I'm like thinking of future projects and stuff like that still, to continue the organization and to keep things from cluttering up and making it very easy for me to come and go from my little fish cave office, whatever, and, you know, make life easier for me to do this for you guys. One other thing before we go, I'm going to let you guys know I will put that battery tender in there. I think there's battery tender and battery tender junior. It's actually a really good deal. So it's one of those things that everybody should be able to afford it. And if you go ice fishing, which is coming up here, let me know below. If you see this, this is at the very end of the video. Let me know if you want, or you're excited like I am. I get all antsy and I can't speak when I talk about ice fishing. So let me know if you guys are upbeat and ready for that thing to go. Obviously, we got some really good fall fishing to catch up on. But as I was saying, I will link that battery tender below in the description. So just come, if you're on your phone, click more. Obviously, if you're on a computer, it's just I think it's read more or whatever. But it's down in the description. I will list that, and I always list everything. Everything that I can help you guys pick up, I try to list it below. It's basically just my way of helping everybody cut out the middleman, I guess, would be to say. That way you can just order it and get it yourself. But anyways, sorry for talking so much today. I wanted to really stress the necessity of building something that's going to make your life better today. I promise, if you build that, one, it's going to give you an excuse to buy more toys because now you have more battery charging capabilities. And then two, it'll just make life a little bit more simpler because you'll have more storage and a nice place to store or charge your batteries. So obviously, if you're not new here, you know what's up. But if you are new, please just remember to